Hello and welcome to the 8th instalment for 2014-15 of Roos News, the Wanneroo District Cricket Club radio show, sponsored by Airtech on your home of sport in the community, 91.3 Sport FM. I'm your host, Dave Minear, and tonight we have a big show for our listeners, talking all the results of the weekend's games versus the Mount Lawley Hawks. And before we go to our Northside residential with dual Centurion this season, Mitch McGee. But first, let me introduce my trusty co-host, life member, director of cricket, all-round champion, premiership player. Where do I start? Ian John Purcell. Ian, how are you, mate?
Evening, Vernon. I'm very well, thanks. And what about yourself?
Yeah, mate, feeling pretty sprightly just quietly after our lovely drive down to God's own country here at Hamilton Hill. It's a lovely drive down and... yeah, mate, it's looking like it's going to be a big week in cricket this week.
Yeah, most certainly is, Vern. Like say, the long-awaited first test starting in Radelaide tomorrow, Vern, your hometown. So that should be really, really interesting and really looking forward to watching that.
Mate, it's going to be an interesting week too, I think. You know, we don't need to talk any more about the poor old Phil Hughes story because, as I said, I know it's been going on for a while, but... the boys would really want to probably get back out there, mate, and actually show what they can do, and in honour of Phil Hughes.
Yeah, look, Buff Lehman wrote up a big email to the lads last week, as I was reading on the old FB the other day, and look, as he said, I think it'd be really good for some of the boys just to get in there and get back in and get a bit of normality back in their life, because let's be honest, the last couple of weeks for the boys have definitely been anything far from normal, hasn't it? So. Yeah,
mate, it's been terrible. And I mean, the thing is, the late mail also today that WA's own and Fremantle's Sean Marsh won't be playing because Michael Clark will be fit. How do you think about that, mate? It's he's still carrying that injury. No one's really talked about. There's been bigger things going on. Yep. How do you reckon, mate? Because if he breaks down early, it's not going to be good.
I think it's one of those things where you just got to chuck in and test him, see how he goes. Look, I think he would be probably very emotional about this test and would really want to get up for it. So I reckon if there is any significant injury there, he's probably going to try and mask it just so he can get back and pay some respect to his great mate. Because he has been really outstanding, hasn't he? Like, spoken very well and he's got back on. Seems like the public have seemed to jump back on Michael Clark's bandwagon again. So I just hope he can manage to come out there and get a few runs, because we know he's quite an emotionally charged person, and I reckon he'll have a really big impact. So I reckon it was worth him taking the risk with him for the first test.
Oh, definitely, mate. He's a great leader, and it's been proven. I mean, the results under him when he's there are much better than when he's not. So I don't think you could be blind Freddie to realise that. But I heard Mitch, Wanneroo District Cricket Club's own Mitch Johnson, talking. He did the press conference on behalf of Michael Clark. I think he probably just wanted to keep his mind on the game and dodge all those sort of questions at the moment. Mitch did it, and he actually spoke very well. But as he said, you've got to really trust these guys that have been playing at this level for a long time, because they're not going to play if they're not 100%, because obviously they're not going to put their mates in a position where they could be underdone or not fit and not be able to, you know, perform to their normal expectations.
Yeah, look, it's a great shout, that, isn't it, from him, as usual. He spoke very well of us last week too, didn't
he did.
Vern? But look, like you're saying, look, I think it'd be really, really good for some of the boys just to get back into it and play some cricket. It's what they know, what they do, and if they don't think they're mentally up for it, I'm fairly confident that they would have said something, you know, because... as you know, if you're not fully fit and 100% going into any sort of international cricket, you're going to get found out really quickly, aren't you? So I would dare say that although it might be quite emotionally charged for them, as soon as they get out there, I'm pretty sure that they'll get down to it and get on with the job from day one.
And there's certainly no love lost with the Indians. Mitch even said on the radio with us the other week that there's not a great deal of love there between our two great nations. And, you know, there's been a lot of talking going on, especially when they won that series 4-0 after getting smashed 5-0 over here. Yep. There's been a lot of chat, and apparently old Virat Kohli's had a fair bit to say as well on the pitch. So he's going to have to step up as well this week, because he's going in as captain now with no MS Dhoni.
Yeah, it's quite interesting, that, isn't it? Put the old fiery fella up right up the front there, and it'll be interesting to see, because he's a bit of a new generation of an Indian cricketer, isn't he? They used to be a little bit more timid, but now they seem to be right up there and in the face. You know, had quite a bit of success in the shorter versions of the game, haven't they? And like, let's be honest, if you were one of their cricketers, you pretty much can't walk around many countries of the world without being noticed. So they obviously, like I say, hopefully he's up for the fight. And look, I think it's going to be really good. I think the whole cricketing community in general just needs to see it. And as we've discussed previously, Vern, over a quiet cordial or three, it'd be just really good to see like Mitch run in and let the first one go nice and high and get it over with, and then get on with the game. You know, I think that's what the sport of cricket needs.
And I think that's what the public's hoping for. I think, to move on from that, and it's not good, and not saying move on from the fact of what happened. It's happened, and it was terrible. And let's hope it is that freak accident, which I think we're all pretty sure over the 120 years we've all been playing this game. You and I are probably been playing it for the whole 120, for that many years.
Remember the first tour of England in 1896, don't we, mate? Yeah, remember it well.
It was a long boat trip, that 7 months, But, mate, as I said, I think it's going to be a great thing just to see the boys back out there as a team and doing it for him, so it should be great. Mate, we better get back onto what we're here for and our fantastic club, the Wanneroo District Cricket Club. Mate, we had a mixed weekend, a very mixed weekend. If you're looking at what our top 2 grades did on the weekend, you'd be slightly disappointed as a Roos supporter, but can you take us through all those results for us, mate?
Yeah, look, we made 253 in the first week. Obviously, Mitch McGee's second 100. We'll obviously have a bit of a chat to him about that a little bit later on in the show. But looks an outstanding effort. But he was pretty much flying solo there, wasn't he? So probably 253 on that pitch. I was actually having a bit of a chat to Vinnie Clark over a bacon and egg on Saturday morning, and as he said, he goes, it's probably a 300 plus pitch. So yeah, look, I think we may have got a little bit found out there, and then next week, they've just come out and turned it on, haven't they? Realistically, and look, say at the end of the day, they've ended up at 3 for 386, which is quite a few more than ours. But look, young Jimmy Newman there with 100, and then Tommy Beaton with 150 not out. Look, we probably copped Jimmy Newman on his one in sort of every 2 or 3 year 100 that he got. And
2 or 3 year, I would have thought it's a 1 in 7 year 100, isn't it?
I was trying to be a bit polite to him.
Yeah.
His old man was a really good guy that I knew. But anyway, look, we really struggled. I think Quelchie was a little bit underdone. Jackie Catt he's still not quite at his best. Look, Donovan Fire was a bit short, and Gary Atkinson probably he hasn't been playing as much as he used to. So look, the boys sort of struggled a bit, and it probably reflects in their figures there. Quelchie with his 16 overs there with his none for 49. Donovan Fry with his 9 overs, none for 18. Jackie Catt, 10 overs, none for 53. Gary Atkinson with his 13 overs, 1 for 43. Robbie Richards, he bowled 11 overs, none for 44. Then Kyle Miller bowling on his dodgy knee there, 18 overs, none for 58. But one of our favourites there, Vern, Bucky Rogers with his 1 for 71 off 16, and Brendan Murray with his first A-grade wicket there. He's 5 overs, 1 for 36, and they even gave Mitch McGee a cheeky little roll out there for his 1.2 overs, none for 3. So look, overall, pretty disappointing result. But look, let's just hope it's a little bit of a blip on the radar. Probably, we caught them on a good day. As we know, we're now the hunted, so a few of the teams are stepping up. But yeah, look, pretty disappointing day, realistically. And
I heard my father was down there for a little bit in the afternoon, and apparently Johnny Rogers took an absolute blinder of a catch to get rid of Jimmy Newnham, the old ex-Wanneroo player of many years ago, more recently part of the dark side.
Yep.
But, amazing catch apparently, showing his athleticism in the field, a full-length dive to the left to get rid of him, and he absolutely smashed it apparently, and a great effort. And then he just chips in with the wicket of Maxi Klinger.
That's right, isn't it?
Maxi, that's what you get for not coming to the mighty Roos.
Well, true. I was actually we should have hoped to run into the bloke and give him a bit of a surf for not turning up. But look, after that day's burn, he's probably pretty happy you stayed at the Hawks and didn't come over to us, didn't he? But from all accounts, Maxi just went out there and sort of got around and got on with it a bit, and then looked like you say, Bucky just chiming in as he does.
Exactly. No, they're a pretty strong side though, the Hawks this year, and as I said, you have a look at some of the players. I mean, Verco, Rakic, obviously, Beaton, Newnham. And then you got young Bavers there, mate, Baverstock. You've got Rakic. You've got, and then you go to the bowling, you've got Dixon and Davis. I mean, Davis, I'm still surprised, didn't play more state cricket. He made his debut with Wes Robinson, I think, back in 2008, and took 7 wickets for the match and made about 30-odd not out and never played another game for WA. So it's quite interesting in the sense that, they've got those sort of players. They're going to be pushing because if you look at their squad, with the exception of Maxi Klinger, most of those guys will play most of the season. Tommy Beaton might get another call up, but as I said, the most of it, their nucleus is going to be, fairly similar. So it's going to be an interesting year for them, and I think we've got them in a pretty rich vein of form too. But as I said, the boys have got to bounce back, and hopefully in the coming weeks, we've got Fremantle obviously this week, which is a really big game after their demolition effort over Claremont Nedlands down there, bowling them out for 118, which was just amazing. It's going to be very interesting to see how the ladder actually starts panning out now.
Yeah, look, Malawli have had 5 wins from their 7 games this year, so look, they're obviously going all right. I dare say they wouldn't have been tipped to be travelling too well at the start of the year. So, look, you wonder, that's what we were talking about as well, Vern, before. They might be in some rich vein of form at the moment, but interesting to see how they do come the business end of the season. Hopefully, for their sake, they'll be still up and about. But I think this is another thing we need to look at with our blokes. Is look, we're currently now 7th on the ladder, but it's still a pretty pretty good position to be in, and we've got a big game, obviously, this week, and then we start the one-dayers again, which I think is where we have played quite well so far this season. So hopefully we can run through them, get a few more good wins on the board, and just have to be in the top 6 at the end of the year, don't we, Vern?
Exactly. And the other thing you pointed out on the way up here too tonight was that, as the coach said, we're one spot better off than where we were at this time last year, and we won a premiership. So we finished, where we finished last year? Third? Fourth. So we finished fourth. So, I mean, as I said, looking at that ladder right now, with the exception, Fremantle are right with us. We've got to beat them because they're right on the same par. But, you look at Willetton, they're only a little bit ahead. Melville, Mount Lawley, they're all pretty close. And then you've got Perth, which is an unbelievable season by the Mighty Demons. But, and then we've got the other side at the top. So, as I said, with the exception of, two are a little bit further ahead than the rest of them. It's pretty close. So with a good win, you could easily get back up to third or fourth in one game at the moment.
Yeah, look, like I say, Vern, the top couple of boys there, they both had outright wins, which obviously gives them a fair few points, which obviously helps out. So, yeah, look, a very big game. I'm sure Wayne will get the boys bouncing back. They're actually having a centre wicket net tonight, so the lads should probably still be out here, depending on, because we've had a little bit more sun than usual, haven't we, Vern?
Yeah, exactly.
So look, they'll be out there on the centre wicket, working hard, obviously, trying to sort of get themselves back in a bit of form. But let's just hope they don't, you don't lose your skills overnight. It's just a little bit of confidence, and hopefully they'll come back next week and have a big crack and get over the boys from Freo.
And it wasn't like the chances weren't there early in the day. I mean, we heard that Jimmy Newnham was dropped pretty early.
Yep.
And, you've got to be on a pretty off day when Jimmy comes out and knocks out a ton like that. And as I said, it's one of those things that, we just had a really, really, I heard we didn't bowl particularly great.
Yeah.
But we have days like that. Let's hope it's just a short blemish. But as I said, the thing is, 253 on that deck. I think we could also, if we asked Charlesy right now what he would have thought, I'm sure Charlesy would have said it's 300 plus anyway.
Definitely. Umpire Joel Charles, as he was on the week, looking after the thirds, a great effort from him and Jake, actually. Like I say, if we had those guys in, there's a lot of experience between those two. They're both two quality players, and we might have got up to 300. As I was discussing with Wayne today, look, if you get to 300, it's a bit more of a psychological barrier. They might not have gone on so well. We might have had a little bit more wind in our sails, and we might have got through them. But Wayne just said that the first session was as bad as he's seen us bowl in the whole time he's been around the club. So, look, like I'm saying, it's a disappointing result. Let's just hope the boys will get back up for next week's game.
Yeah, and as I said, it happens to all the sides. You'll have a couple of games where you're probably not at your best. And
a bit like your batting career, really, Vern, isn't it? You go 4 or 5 games without getting the runs.
Yeah, it was more worse than good, but if you did it on the law of averages. But, mate, as I said, it is promising. The boys will get back together. I think the Christmas break, without being funny, couldn't come quick enough for us. I think we've had a few boys that have had full pre-seasons with the Wacker.
That's right.
And this is a time of year where you start getting a little bit tired. You need that freshen up, need that time off, get back, regroup, get ready for the one day straight after Christmas.
Yeah, it's just something similar that way. Like, say if you looked as the players, if like an AFL season, they do like a big launch. They sort of look after the younger boys, which is what the younger guys were the ones that did most of the big pre-season. They're probably getting a bit sore, a bit tired. It's the first time they've used some muscles in their body like that. So they're really looking forward to it. So we've got Freo. Then we've got Joondalup straight afterwards when we come back. So, look, the boys could probably do with quite a big break. Look, it'd probably be ideal for us to have an extra week, so they could give them sort of almost 3 weeks off then. But look, it is what it is. So hopefully a little bit of a break and they'll come back a little bit fresher as well, Vern.
Definitely. And good time to get Joondalup, I think, straight after that break. Good time, without a lot of training, they're flying. Obviously, a good time to get them. They haven't lost a game this year, which is quite amazing. So, as I said, but that could turn around very quickly in the back end of the season. A couple of injuries and all over Red Rovers. So that's what we know that very well. Now, Purce, going into the second grade, mate. Obviously, we've had a pretty indifferent season with our mighty Magoos, and well, not so mighty in the last few results, but as I said, they're trying hard, and as I said, it'd be really good to start seeing some good results. What happened on the weekend, mate?
Yeah, look, we only managed to get the 172 first week, which is probably, again, Vern, it's a little bit disappointing realistically. Like, pretty good batting line up there. Well, we've had picked some extra bowlers. Cam Mack, good to see him having a bit of a crack, but unfortunately he didn't really help him out either. But yeah, look, the 172 probably not really enough. And look, they ended up at 8 for 284 in the end. So obviously they had a bit of free time after they managed to win. But quite interesting there, Vern, isn't it? Baverstock, they obviously dropped him down for Maxi Klinger and then comes out and peels out a cheeky little 115 not out there from Bavers, who we both know is a very good player.
Exactly.
So, yeah, look, that's probably a little bit disappointing. But in the bowling department, Jared McPhee, really good to see this. As you're talking about in the way down here, Vern, a very, very promising young player. He's back, he's fit, and he's bowled 22 overs there for 3 for 64. So that's a very good effort. And then on the other end of the spectrum there, we've got the bloke that's played 758 games of cricket in Jason Parry there with his 3 for 51, which is good to see. Young Joshy Smith there, none for 61 there. Scotty Pearson with his 16 overs, 1 for 30. The blonde bombshell, Johnny Walters there with his 154, and Graham Atkinson there with his 3 overs, number 17s, and the best result. But it's just another disappointing performance from the batters there. Look, they were probably 5 for 84, and then it's probably not what you really want from your top order, is it? You probably really want 1 or 2 for 84, hoping that you can protect your middle order a little bit. But they sort of struggled there, and I think that's probably been their biggest thing during the year. Look, they're all having a crack, and we all know they are, but. Yeah, just for me, it's a little bit disappointing was the batting in that game.
Mate, another funny one in that side there. Ricardo Di Nebrega playing for Mount Lawley. I miss his father around the traps. But as I said, he's a fantastic young bloke he was back in the day. Definitely, but he went to Mount Lawley a couple of years ago. But, mate, going on to us, you have a look at that side. And, I mean, those bowlers there's a couple of guys there that you really want to be pushing through to A grade. And, I mean, I think, Jace has played 946 games. So, as I said, he'll go up and down whenever he needs to. But as I said, it's time that people took the baton off those sort of guys. And I think the good thing about that is looking at Jared McPhee with the injuries he's had, 22 overs, 5 maidens, 3 for 64. He's taken that mantle as a lead fast bowler. Now, there's going to be opportunities in A grade this year. There's going to be guys who will break the it's a law of averages. It's got to happen. As I said, with him in a bit of form, this is what we've been saying every week. With the twos, they have to start putting pressure on this first grade side. And now with the results not going so well with the ones, it's an opportunity for guys like Jared McPhee and even a Johnny Walter if he gets out there and gets a few wickets and these sort of blokes to actually get back up there, and even Paz, you know what I mean? Yeah. If he's gonna, we've got to start putting the pressure on, and this is what that second grade side really needs to do. They just need to do it with a bat.
Yeah, I think you definitely hit the nail on the head there, Vern. I think Jared McPhee, Aaron Summers is another one who's out, currently injured with his elbow in 78 bits there. So, look, it'd be really good to see him there as well. But Jared actually, he was another one that did a very big pre-season. He sort of broke down a little bit. So now he's had that bit of a break. So hopefully his body can come good. He'll get another short little break again, and then hopefully in the second half of the season we can see him up and firing, because I reckon he's got a lot of talent. I reckon he'd be more than okay to be running around the A grade there, I believe.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully the boys can turn that around. And as I said, you got Dan Peters and that in there in that middle order, and Graham Atkinson and guys like that. And great to see Cam Mack get an opportunity there, because, as I said, he's a great young lad. He loves his cricket, lives and breathes it. Yep. As I said, he's a bit of a nuffy too, a bit like myself, and loves it to death. So, as I said, good to see him.
Is he on the same nuffiness as you and Huss?
No, I don't know about that. Yeah, obviously it's a fairly high nuffiness level if Mitch was going to bring it up, wasn't it?
I can't believe he brought that up last week. Putting you in the same, that's probably the only way you and Huss have been in the same sentence, though, let's be honest.
Mate, I'm pretty sure that's the only time ever. But yeah, Slodecki at the top there too, and I'd love to see Slods get the former fat man go out there and get some runs, because he's due as well. So Johnny Budge,
Jesse Budge,
look,
good to see, very good young player. He's another one of those guys as we were talking about before. Yep. If he can get a bit of form, he should be really putting the pressure on the A grade now. He's starting to be of an age where he should be really trying to look for that, and hopefully he does. Hopefully he comes good now, because I think that's his it's his second decent score this year, isn't it? So hopefully as he can continue that vein of form, into the next year.
And if you turn those 58s into hundreds, as I said, or 80s and 90s, well, you're really knocking on the door. But Jared McPhee, Christ, he goes and gets another 55 in that as well, and 3 for. So if he's not knocking on the door, I don't know what he's doing. So yeah, well done to the boys. As I said, good effort, but as I said, probably once again just didn't have the runs on the board, and obviously 75.5 overs, 172 is probably not quite there. But as I said, we all know Breckler could be a bit of a difficult place to bat at the best of times. I don't think I've seen too many scores over 200 at Breckler over the years, but
no.
But anyway, all right, now.
Sorry, mate, that currently leaves them. They're in 14th at the moment. But look, if they had an extra win, that could be up as high as 7th. It's a bit of a jam there, right in the middle of that. So look, hopefully they can keep going and just keep soldiering on. I'm sure that Noddy will have them all up and firing for next week's game.
And it's definitely not the end of the world. As I said, you've seen teams come back from losing 5. I mean, we've seen our A grade a few times lose 5 and 6 games in a year and then make finals. So as I said, 5, they've lost 5. They're probably going to have to win a fair majority of the ones going forward, over this time. But if they're winning games, it means they're putting pressure on the ones, which is what we want at the club. So
right.
Excellent stuff. All right, Purse, can you take us to the third grade, please, mate?
Yeah, look, in the thirds, we did quite well to restrict Mount Lawley to 202 there. So the pick of the bowlers was Josh Quelch, which I was actually quite surprised to see him running around the thirds. I thought he had a fairly good year, but a bit of an injury cloud with him. And, look, he was only in off a couple of paces. Still managed to pick up a cheeky little 4 for 27. And your man, Adam Smudger-Smith there with his 3 for 49, good to see. And Moses there with his 2 for 14. But, look, great effort from the lads. They ended up at 5 for 280 batting this week. So really good to see. And, look, all of the players probably contributed apart from Marbo there, which is, Alex Burton, good to see him get a little start because he's probably struggled a bit this year as AB. And I've seen him having some few throws with Dave Bandy the other night. And he actually looked like he was going all right there. But, look, Moses again with his 97, quite unlucky there to just finished just shy of the milestone.
Caught as well. Oh, yeah. A little worried.
You wonder, don't you?
Get a little bit nervous.
Don't you? You know, it's tough times in the 90s. Don't know too much about it myself, but I've heard it's pretty tough. But look, young Josh Cameron, who's had a couple of really good scores in 17. It's good to see him batting a 4 there. We just get a little start with his 20. And Ryan May taking over the captaincy there with his 63. Connor Lynch, 22, and Bailey Nylander with his 29 not out. So look, an absolutely outstanding effort from the thirds as they just continue to march on there, Vern, don't they?
Mate, very good side. And it's good to see that Greg Maher, and not good that he failed, but good to see that the other boys stepped up because I think at times they could be a little bit wanting for relying on Greg a little bit. And as I said, it's good to see there. But Birdo, that's the one I like to see. As I said, that's a good start. And Birdo, mate, I would love to. I reckon this guy can play. He's a very good batsman. And as I said, at the moment, it's all confidence. And he just needs to get a couple of good starts, go on with a couple of them, get a 60 or 70, and then just start believing, well, hang on, I can play. I know I can play.
That's right.
And start believing again because he has had a bit of a rough run. And it doesn't matter who you are. If you go from ones to twos, then down to threes, you're going to start feeling going, well, hang on, what have I done wrong? You know, where am I going?
It's a bit like the season of Paul Hope had. Started opening the bat in twos, ended up bowling in fours. But look, it obviously it wears away at your confidence.
Yeah.
He's a very smart young kid. Knows what he needs to do, and he needs to obviously try and have a bit of faith in his technique, and hopefully that can be the start of something big for him.
Definitely. And a shout out to his old man there, old Birdo. He's an absolute champion.
Great fella.
Yeah. Oh, absolute champion.
Looking after me on Saturday with that bacon and egg he was, which I probably needed on Saturday morning, actually.
Now, mate, having a look at the ladder now, I just want to talk about it because they are top. So the third grade now, they're absolutely dominating at the top there, mate. So if they're top, how far clear are they at the top of the ladder?
Mate, look, they're going all right there, aren't they? They're on 51 points. Melville, the second there with 45. And yes, Vern, that is a bit of a strange ladder, the way the ladder's printed out today. And look, which is absolutely outstanding effort from the boys, and good to see because they've had quite a bit of transition because a lot of the boys through their very good performances have managed to have a bit of a crack at the playing second grade, which is great to see for the individuals. But it must be really good for Wayne and old James DiCarlo there on the selection tables every Thursday or every second Thursday. You know, to see that they've got that opportunity. If the guys in seconds aren't performing, you know, these guys who have been performing get their opportunities and they seem to be making the most of it.
No, definitely, mate. And still undefeated in that third grade side. So well done, boys. And they're putting on the pressure on that second grade side because, as I said, if the results, it's the same thing. It flows down all grades. So, as I said, it's good to see a few of those kids doing well in that. All right, mate. Now, going on to the fourth grade, if we could go and have a quick look. And as I said, Carney's Troops, as they're well known. If you want to take us through what happened with the Troops on the weekend, mate.
Mate, yes, Joel Ben Cousins Kamwa's mob there. Absolutely outstanding effort.
Oh,
he looked at it that night, didn't he?
Oh, such is life.
Isn't he? And restricting Mount Lawley for 7 for 192 was a very, very good effort. And Braden Quinn there with his 4 for 37 is a really good effort. And Dylan Banks also 15 overs there, 1 for 37. Another good junior coming up. Ben Cousins himself with his number 21 of his 5. Didn't he enforce at 1 for 32 there. But Jimmy DiCarlo with number 22 and Corey Roccaccioli, one of the favourites here on Roos News with his number 38. But look, we managed to peel them off 8 down. We ended up with 218 with the pick of the batters there was Lloyd Quinlan with his 32. The old Jimmy DiCarlo himself 56 and Corey Roccaccioli there with your 29 not out. So, look, a great effort. But, Jimmy DiCarlo, good to see him back in a bit of form. He's probably struggled a bit with the bat. Maybe because he's assistant coach for 15s, maybe that's taken it out of him a little bit.
Mate, I'll tell you, he last year was the best batsman in fourth grade by an absolute road.
Yeah.
And I think he probably, after he broke his hand in acrimonious circumstances at Joondalup, he he didn't get back because he obviously did a fair bit of damage. But as I said, I think it's going to be good for that side because if he's playing well after Christmas, and that's what you really got to look at, if he's in form, that fourth grade side's going to be pretty strong. And as I said, he's another guy that he should be playing threes as well. You know, like he is good enough. Yeah. It's up to him to start really pushing on. And because there are so many good kids there, you know, like you said, Corey Roccaccioli and guys like that, there are blokes knocking on the door. So he's got to step up now and really take over that side and dominate it like we all know he can.
Yeah, definitely. Like he's become one of the senior players now, hasn't he? You know, yeah. Look, he's very, very, very good. Good bowler, quite smart. I never thought I'd ever say that about him. But quite a smart bowler, a very good fielder, and like I say, a very busy bat. You know, he's one of those guys when he's out there, he's actually looking to turn the strike over and get down the other, and not just trying to wog him over the top. You know, so yeah, look, hopefully he can do that and use some of his experience to help a few of the younger kids come along.
Mate, perfect. Now, where are they on the ladder?
Mate, they are currently fourth on the ladder, funnily enough. Yeah, look, going all right there. They're only sort of 9 points off top there. So, look, it's quite a bit of a logjam again up the top of the order there. But, yeah, old Joel Ben Cousins Kamwa, he seems to be going all right looking after the boys down there.
And he is too, and he's doing a great job down there because, as I said, it can be tough at times. So he's doing very well, the big fella. Now, guys, we're going to go to a quick word from our all-important club sponsors, and when we're back, we will have A-grade breakaway batsman who's made a couple of hundreds in the last couple of weeks, Mitch McGee, on the line. Back in just a few moments.
The Wanneroo District Cricket Club would like to thank its 2014-15 sponsor group, including Ertec Holdings, Getting It Right and On Time. Northside Residential, offices in Joondalup and Greenwood, contact Andrew Amos today. Sunwise Outdoor Living, for all your patio, gazebo and alfresco needs, contact Rob Fairchild. MTM Physiotherapy, specialising in sports injuries, located in Duncraig. And Stella Premium Services, gardens, parks and lawns, contact Cliff Astall today. Station sponsor.
Whatever your hire needs, wherever you live or work in Perth, any day of the week, your job just got easier with yet another new Kennard's Hire now open in Bibra Lake. That's now 17 locations across Perth, open 7 days from early to late with everything you need to get the job done, no matter how small or large. Kennard's Hire, now with 17 great locations including the new store at 32 Miguel Road, Bibra Lake. Go to kennardshire.com.au to find the one nearest you.
Kennard's makes your job easy.
Station sponsor.
The Wanneroo District Cricket Club would like to thank its 2014-15 sponsor group, including Northside Residential, offices in Joondalup and Greenwood. Contact Andrew Amos today. Jets Wanneroo, 24-hour fitness, workout on your terms. Harden Eastern Conti, accounting, taxation, finance and business planning. Contact Murray McGee. Subway Madeley, located in the Kingsway Shopping Complex, and Resource Instrumentation and Electrical, WA-owned electrical contracting company specialising in the HVAC industry. Contact Darren Thorne, station sponsor.
And welcome back to Roos News, the Wanneroo District Cricket Club radio show on your home of sports variety, 91.3 Sport FM. Now on the line for our Northside Residential interview of the evening, we've got our gun A-grade batsman who's in the form of his career, Mitch McGee. Mitchie, how are you there, mate?
Lads, how are we going?
Mate, absolutely fantastic, and even the better for speaking to you, mate. Now, big fella, got to ask you, what's been going on with you? Like, you are in some scintillating form. We've been watching you the last couple of weeks. Obviously, I missed your 100 last week because I wasn't there, but the boys have all told me it was as good as you'll see. What's been the turnaround, mate? I know you've always been, you know, you've had the ability to do it. What's changed?
I don't think much has changed, to be honest. I've always been... thought I've been a pretty hard worker and stuck at it pretty well for the last couple of years, so I knew it was just around the corner. So it was just about doing it, really. I mean, end of last year I had quite good form in the twos, but broke down right at the end of the year with a back injury.
And that was after getting...
Yeah, after the first few rounds out, for it to happen so quickly and to get two back-to-back pretty much is even beyond my wildest dreams. So it's been really good so far.
Mate, sorry for cutting you off there. I was about to say, and on that injury, you were playing in the A grade at that stage, mate, in the finals against Willerton, down there at Willerton, and you were 40-odd not out as well, weren't you?
Yeah, that was the last game of the season, and I managed to we rolled Willerton for about 100 then, and we were only chasing that, so I managed to get not out there, and then in the elimination final, I nearly barbecued myself and dived to get in my crease and popped the disc out in the back, so that spent the last season on the sidelines, and the first bit of this year. So to get back and just be feeling really good and be confident in my game and have the belief of the guys behind me has been good so far.
Hey, Mitch Purcell, mate, how you going?
Good. How are you, Perth?
Well, thanks, mate. Mate, look, just touch on like what Vern said. It says it's really good to see because we've obviously always believed that you can do it. Now, every time you are going out to bat now, now that you've broken the barrier of getting your first A grade 100, now your second, do you still have that? Do you have that a different mindset now when you're out there? Are you actually trying to look to dominate bowlers, or do you still have the same mindset you've always had?
I think I go out with the same mindset, but the actual confidence, I've got the confidence that I belong now. I think that's what I really missed the first probably year and a bit of A grade that I played. I just always went out there thinking about the bowler that I was facing. And if it was a Paul Davis, if it was a Matt Dixon, I'd be going, they're at the whacker, they're better than me.
Yeah.
But this year, once I got that first score away, facing quality bowlers like Denver and Ross Lacano and stuff, it's just made me, really believe in my game and actually know now that I belong there. So, I mean, everyone's always told me that it's just around the corner, but it's a lot different when you finally can do it and to have everyone around you and all the support and the congratulations. It's a good feeling. It's an awesome feeling.
Sometimes you think round the corners down at Rockingham, but you're driving from Wanneroo. Mate, just touching on the weekend's game, mate, must have been a pretty tough day for you on Saturday, mate. One of the tougher ones that you've had out there playing cricket?
Yeah, definitely. I think the first week of the game, we didn't bat very well. The top 7 of us, or obviously I got a few away, but anyway, everyone else, I don't know, I don't think they were patient enough, and I think we took for granted how good the pitch was, and even though we still made 250, a few of the guys thought that would be enough, but being out there all day, I knew it wasn't going to be with the quality that they had bat. I mean, I've played against the guys like Corey Verco and stuff a fair bit, and you just know on a pitch like that, if we don't get it right, which we didn't, to be honest, on Saturday morning, they were none for 100 at lunch. So, I mean, the game was all but over, really, and just we were bowling either really full or really short. So, to be honest, it was probably one of the toughest fielding days we've ever had.
Mate, what's the morale like in the side at the moment? Obviously, we've come off a few, we've had a couple of average results in the last couple, and it's obviously, you're not human if it doesn't get you down a bit. But how are the boys feeling, like in the group? And I know we had a bit of centre wicket practice tonight. How was the group? Were all the boys up, ready to go and looking forward to the challenge of Freo this weekend? I
think the boys are quite realistic about where we're at the moment. We're obviously not playing to our full potential as a team. I mean, there's been a few individuals that have done quite well. It's good to see Donnie come up and hold his own and bowl really well. But we know we've got a pretty tough task ahead of us now. We pretty much have to beat Freo to keep ourselves up in the mix because I think they're 7th and we're 6th. So it's a really important game. But stuff like tonight, having the pitches up to have a bit of centre wicket, seeing Richo get some time out in the middle, Chris Joe, it's good. I think tonight did boost everyone's moral, and I mean, I think we're looking forward to the Christmas break, but to have the centre wicket is a really good preparation for this Saturday.
No, definitely, mate. A good morale booster, definitely. But, mate, the rest of the side, as I said, it's been an interesting year. And as I said, there's some sides I think that have probably, all the sides are really performing against us because we are the hunted now. Mate, I had another quick question for you. Out of do you know how many hundreds you've ever made?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
How many?
8.
Yeah, correct. Very, very good start, mate. Mate, out of those 800s, it's like asking me how many runs I've made, Mitchie. I'd remember every single one, all 5 of them. Mate, which one was your best 100? Which one do you feel was, your best 100 so far?
I like them all, Dave. I think probably the one on the weekend, to be honest, because,
right answer.
There was no real partnership where it got easy. Like, normally you can consolidate a partnership. When you open, you get someone who'll stick around with you. Like that one against Fraser, I batted with Christian and we put on 120. And that period from 60 to 110 where we're batting together, you can just cruise through it. And like, with having someone out there talking to you and just being able to do it easy, it does go quicker and it makes it a lot easier. But to have people falling around you all day, but to keep your head for most of the day, to me, I was really proud of that.
I would be too, mate. And that's exactly what it's all about, mate. And the thing is, the reality is now you are at that age where you are not you're not a young player anymore, even though you are young, but you've been around the traps for a long time now and made a lot of runs in 2s and 1s now. Mate, for the rest of this season, what are your aims personally?
Now that I've had such a good start, I usually set quite high expectations for myself. So, I mean, I don't want to get carried away. I don't want to make stupid, unrealistic, goals. But, I mean, I think when I can get myself in and bat, I bat in session. So if I can get through that first to drink in the first session and get to lunch 40, I can back myself in to make 100 because, I mean, at the moment I'm starting to learn how to make 100s, which a lot of people tell me is hard to do. So now that I've got that down pat, I would love to get, say, 3 more 100s this year or just, I mean, I just want my first goal in a game is bat till lunch because, I mean, if I bat till lunch, the team's going to be in a good position. And obviously, personally, I'm going to be on, 40 not out. So that's what I try and do most weeks.
Hey, mate, this season there's been quite a few injuries down at the Roos, and obviously yourself included there. What can you really put your finger on it there? Is it just one of those things that has come about, or has it just been because we've had a few of the guys who've done a really decent pre-season?
Don't know if it's the right thing to say, but I think the boys that have done that pre-season are clearly quite burnt out. I don't know if it's physically and mentally. I feel I mean, a few of them have been playing cricket while I was still in Europe, just having a bit of a bloody relaxing time.
Doing it tough, yep.
Yeah, half my life. But, I mean, I think a lot of people just need that. I think it's a couple of weekends off at Christmas just to try and recharge mentally. Because it is mentally draining cricket, especially when you're batting. You have to concentrate every ball. And I think they've hit that many balls this year. They're just going out there thinking that they're 40 not out every time. And they just need to relax and just think it's their first ball they face all pre-season. And, I mean, I think that'll make a difference. But we are looking forward to the break. But I think we'll hit our straps this weekend. Everyone's training really hard. It's just a matter of putting it out on the park because obviously everyone knows we're the hunted now, like you said. That's what everyone says. We're the hunted. We need to learn to be better. Obviously work as a team as well.
Mate, just on yourself, mate, what have you done different this year because you're hammer and tacks, obviously you're struggling a bit with that. What sort of different preparations or what other things have you been doing to get yourself up and ready for games?
I've gone quite a different route this year, actually, doing a bit of Pilates and all the kind of things that you think aren't very strenuous, but they actually help my core a lot. And Buck always told me, you need to get a bum. I don't have a bum because I'm skinny. So
you can borrow mine if you want it, mate.
I probably need half of it.
I was going to say, Ben, I think he wants a bum that doesn't move and you walk as much as yours.
Without dimples.
That's it, yeah. That's slightly less hairy. Apparently, I've just heard that.
I think more just strengthening my core and my glutes and that kind of thing is really taking a load off my back. So, and I've been positive as well, just trying to take my mind off injuries and taking my mind off producing the run. So, which is, I mean, it's helped a lot this year, obviously.
Definitely, mate.
Good. It's good to finally get results in the grade that I want to play.
Well, mate, you're always going to, mate. At the end of the day, you've got the ability. And the thing is, the other thing I know I've been saying it to, and it's got nothing to do with me, but, you know, I've watched you bat for so long now since you've sort of come on the scene probably. I don't know, mate. You came on the scene properly probably about 6-7 years ago now when you started growing through and coming up into the older grades, and maybe not that long, maybe 5 years. But anyway, but the thing is, you know, the whole thing is, mate, it takes time. And I think, you know, you can ask guys like Joel Charles who, you know, played a lot of up and down between 1s and 2s at the start of his career, and you have a look at him now, you couldn't imagine him outside of an A-grade side. So, and mate, you're still so young, mate. You've got a long time ahead of you in the game, mate, and we're just really proud of you here at Roos News, mate, and also really happy to watch you for the rest of the season, mate, because I'm really looking forward to getting down there and seeing you get another 300s. I'm no pressure, but if you can get another 3, your big brother Dave's going to be pretty proud of you, mate.
Thanks, mate.
All right, mate. Well, you have a great night. Thanks for joining us tonight on Roos News, mate, and we'll see you on the weekend.
Thanks, guys. See
Cheers,
you later.
Mate.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, look, very, very, very well spoken again, wasn't he there, Vern? Look, you touched on the head there. Look, we always had faith in him. It's just obviously it's a lot easier to look from an outside in to see that the bit of faith. It's very hard to have that faith yourself. And look, he's obviously turned a bit of a corner there, Vern, and all the best to him, because as we know, he does work his ass off, which is good to see.
It is, mate. And I was right the first time. It is 6 years. He's been playing seniors for 6 years. Unbelievable. But the thing is, I mean, the guy, I think you get a bit confused sometimes, Purcell, like we do. We look at some of these guys and you don't realise how young they actually are, but they've been around playing senior cricket for so many years that you sort of a little bit take it for granted and expect them to have that old head on the shoulders. But you've also got to remember that they're 22, 23, like the young guys, and they're starting to learn their own game, and they're not going to be the best cricketer they can be until their late 20s, early 30s, like so many other batsmen. I mean, look at Charlesy. Charlesy's a perfect example of that. He was always a great bat, but when he hit that late 20s, it's when he really blossomed and dominated A-grade cricket.
Yeah, like to say, a bit of a misspent youth for Charles, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like saying, and I mean that in all semi-seriousness, because he finally realised that he could play when he was in his mid-20s.
Yeah.
And when he realised it, and like I say, hopefully Bobby can realise that a couple of years earlier, and that way hopefully he'll get just a little bit more extension out of his career. So, yeah, look, great guy and good to see, and you touched...
Speaks well, doesn't he? He
does.
Speaks great on... I mean, we should get him on the show here, I reckon. I think he speaks better than you and I.
Mate, you and I will be out of a job if get someone that could actually speak decent on our show, let's be honest.
Well done, Muzz. You brought him up well, mate.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, good to see.
But no, honestly, it'll be great to see him score some more runs this year. And at the moment with the A-grade, they have been misfiring a little bit, and he has been one very, very bright shining light in that side. So well done to Mitchie, and we really had an absolute ball talking to him on the phone tonight. Now, guys, what we're going to do, we're going to go to a quick word from our all-important club sponsors, and then when we get back, we're going to go through all the junior results from the weekend. Back in just a few moments.
The Wanneroo District Cricket Club would like to thank its 2014-15 sponsor group, including Northside Residential, offices in Joondalup and Greenwood. Contact Andrew Amos today. Jets Wanneroo, 24-hour fitness, work out on your terms. Harden Eastern Conti, accounting, taxation, finance and business planning. Contact Murray McGee. Subway Madeley, located in the Kingsway Shopping Complex, and Resource Instrumentation and Electrical, WA-owned electrical contracting company specialising in the HVAC industry. Contact Darren Thorne, station sponsor.
City Toyota.
City Toyota's service centre at Northbridge and Nedlands is now open Saturday mornings between 8 and 12. Sit and relax in the lounge area with a coffee while your car is serviced by the experts. Bookings are essential. It's just another convenient service from City Toyota, Perth's #1 Toyota dealer. Call 1300 City Toyota.
City Toyota. We're your #1.
DL 12195.
Station sponsor.
Change the way you buy your next cricket bat. Just like the professionals, go directly to Bradbury, the internationally awarded bat maker right here in Perth. Browse through the shop or have a custom crafted blade created to suit your needs. Suitable for all cricketers, all ages, levels and budgets. The Bradbury standard of creative, innovative design and dedicated workmanship is behind every bat they make. Come and see Paul and Sally now at 7A Forsyth Street, O'Connor, or you can order your kit online at bradburycricket.com. Sport FM sponsor.
And welcome back to Roos News, the Wanneroo District Cricket Club radio show on your home of sports variety, Sport FM 91.3. Now, we've got the rest of the results from my fantastic co-host here, Ian Purcell. Now, Purce, we're going through we've got the 17s, the 15s, the 14s and the 13s. So can you start us off with the 17s, please, mate?
Yes, Vern, in our Harden Eastern Conti Juniors segment here, mate. I'll just run us through all of them.
Sorry about that, mate. Forgot that. Where's the producer? He should have given me the right teleprompter there. You know, I only read what's on the teleprompter, so...
Hey, mate, I got all this hard work to this big run sheet for us, and you just completely blanked me.
Give yourself a rap.
Anyway, and in the very, very, very well-coached Brendan Danaher's under-17s, look, we played the one down on the weekend. Obviously, it was rained out first week, and look, a pretty good effort. The boys, Corey Rockacholi, one of our favourites there, lost a toss, and so they decided to have a bit of a bowl at 8 in the AM on a Saturday morning, and look, we managed to eke out 126 for 3. So, look, it was a really good effort from the boys, and young Lockie McLean there just got his 5. Justin Hendry back from the PSA cricket, looking very good there for his 21. Joshy Cameron probably had his first failure in a few weeks, just to bring him back to earth. And then Damon Parker and Corey Rocacholi got together, and they managed to put on 90 there between them, which is an outstanding effort. Damon with his 36 not outs, and Corey Rocacholi bringing up his 50 with the last ball of the innings. So look, a great effort from him. And then they managed to skittle the Hawks for 104, which was a great effort because they were none for 40 after the first 10, and then they pretty much 5 for 90. We thought, we never know, but then they just managed to skittle for 104. So look, a great effort. And the pick of the bowlers there, Dylan Banks there with his 4.1 overs at 1 for 7, bowled really well. Elijah Greystock bowled with some very genuine pace there, Vern. He's a bit of a kid to look out for. Got some genuine speed there. 4 overs, none for 13. Kurt Monaghan just toiling along beautifully there with his 6 overs, 3 for 22. Young Matty there, Purcell, with his 1 overs, none for 9. Liam Catalfamo there with his 6 overs, 1 for 15. Corey Rocacholi just thought that 50 runs wasn't enough for himself, so I might as well bowl me full lot at 6, get a cheeky little 4 for 25, and for some unknown reason, Braden Hudson bowled on over. But, look, Corey Rocacholi, probably the pick of the players there with his 4 for and a 50. So, look, a great win from Brendo's boys there, just to keep them sitting on top of the ladder there in the under-17s, Vern. So, great effort from Brendo and the lads.
And Freo, they're playing Freo this week as well, wouldn't they?
Correct, mate.
So
yeah,
first versus second, so
Correct.
Big game. But having a look at some of those results there, mate, there's some boys there that are ones to look out for the future. Ones isn't even a word, but they're young blokes who we should be looking out for the future. But Kurt Monaghan there, 3 for 22, fantastic performance. And I got to thank his dad too, Steve-O, at Perth Window and Door Replacement Company. He looked after me at my place earlier this week. So
look, I reckon that Kurt would probably have 16 wickets at about 10 this year, so going really well. Yeah, his left armers, probably not his strength as well. His strength is batting, but his left armers seem to be just coming on a treat. So yeah, look, a great effort. But seriously, Corey Rocacholi.
Oh, what a god!
Can we talk about him for a second? Seriously, 50 and 4 for. I tell you what, mate, that's a pretty good effort. And well captain, Corey.
I really want, that's an awesome effort, and he's an absolute gun, and he's one of the show's favourites, but we really want him to spend some more time with Mitchie McGee and, learn about that speaking when he gets on with us and give him that confidence that he needs. Because
so ironic.
You know what? Because he's going to be on here a lot now. You know, he's got to learn. He's got to get that media coach out there because he is honestly going to be on here that much, taking, with figures like that. He's lucky that Mitch McGee made that 100 because he would have been the call.
Maybe like say just after Christmas he might have to duck over to the old McGee household and have a bit of a chat with him because obviously he doesn't listen to his old man Eric anymore. Can talk more than you. No, I can talk more than you, Vern. No. But can talk. But yeah, look.
You mean the Rocacholi house, mate, not the McGee house?
Yes.
So yeah.
No.
We get McGee over to the Rocacholi house. Yeah.
No, I'm saying get Rocacholi, get Corey over to McGee's house.
Okay, fair play.
That Bobby can teach him how to speak.
I'm picking up what you're putting down now.
So we're going to right here. Yeah, but look, a great effort from the boys. Look, Brendo's getting the boys firing along there, doing really well. Actually, Lindsay Flynn was down during the week, giving the boys a bit of help with their fielding, but they didn't take that on board too much. But look, a great effort from them and a great win from the lads. Real good confidence boost from the guys because they were looking like they were going to struggle there for a while, but they managed to get those last 5 wickets real cheaply.
Well done to the boys in the 17s. And like we always say on this show, when the 17s are going well, it all bodes well for our grades coming through in the coming years because we probably haven't performed as well in the 17s over the past few years and as well as what we normally do. And as I said, good to see the boys on top coming into Christmas. So big game against Freo for them, first v2. So going on to the 15s now, IJ, what happened there, mate, on the weekend?
Yeah, look, the Thorns there, they've done quite well against the Hawks there. Look, they managed to restrict them to 5 for 88 off their 30. Must have been some pretty exciting cricket down there at Breklar. So look, Lukey Cheshire there with his 6 overs, none for 15. Bailey Richards there with his 1 for 20. Benny Doolan, one of the favourites here with his 6 overs, 2 for 13. Connor Thorne there, the cheeky little 6 overs, 1 for 19. And young Jordan Slattery, son of the best player ever.
Greatest batsman.
With his 3 overs, none for 7. And young Tristan Hobley, who's another quality player they got there, Vern, actually, with his 1 for 9. So look, an outstanding effort from Thorny's boys then to just to restrict them to 88. And in reply, the boys managed to peel them off 3 for 169. They managed to run past that none down with Emil Vandermeer actually there with his 52, who's another outstanding player they got there. And young Whitehurst there, Vern, they gave him a bit of a promotion up the order and started swinging the willow from ball 1 apparently. He ended up there with 70. Tristan Hobley with his 11. And Mandools there with his not out 13 and Connor was not out 12. So look, an outstanding effort from Thorny's boys. And I reckon he's got them right. They're on their way up, the lads. They started the season quite slowly. But like saying, he's got them firing on all cylinders now at 7th, just leading into Christmas. So look, another great effort from Thorny's mob.
And they are really the rose between two thorns there on the ladder, with the Centurions above and Joondalup below. They definitely that rose between two thorns. Ed, having a look at that, the 15's fantastic to those boys. And as I said, hopefully they can push on for the last game of obviously this year, and then be well set for the start of next year.
Yeah, be some interesting times from this week. They've got a couple of their boys are away in Connor and Chesh as well. Luke Cheshire, they're away playing with the Bellridge boys that are over in Brisbane at the moment. So that'll be a bit of a struggle because they can't pick them because they're not back till Sunday. So interesting to see how they go. But mind you, Freo are currently sitting stone motherless last in the 15. So hopefully the boys can have another win this week.
Definitely, mate. Now, the 14s were on this weekend as well, IJ. Now, can you take me through the results for those boys?
I certainly can, mate. Andy Billington's lads out there, they managed they bowled first, so Midland actually managed to peel off 7 for 183, which is a very good score for the under-14 lads there. One of the young lads from them managed to peel off 72, so good effort from him. But, the bowling figures for us was Eaton there with his 2 for 45s. Wirraman 3 there with his 4 overs, none for 15. Forgan there, 8 overs, none for 20. Young Holly there with his 6 overs, 1 for 16. Irvine there, none for 16 off his 3. Richards as well, number 17. Dion Billington there with his 1 for 24, and Ives there with his 2 for 17. So look, say they've come back fairly well, but unfortunately we only were 9 for 167 in reply there, Vern. So falling just short, with Forsman there with his 16, Douglas 32, Commode 36. And young Holly there with his 38, with definitely the pick of the batsman. But yeah, look, falling agonisingly short there, Vern. So unfortunately, they just managed to go down there.
Yeah, disappointing for the boys, especially to get that close. I think that'd be the hardest thing to take on those sort of games when you do get that close. And there's some really good young kids to look at. Young Holly there's had a pretty good game. And
gone all right, hasn't he?
Yeah, you're not wrong. And Commode with 36. So well done to those boys. And hopefully they can get back up for their next one and get a good win. Now, where are they, mate, on their particular table this season?
Yeah, they're sort of struggling down there at 7th. But like I say, they've only one team there that's had 3 wins. So look, it's a bit tight. You've got to finish in the top 2 for there because they only play the northern suburbs, basically side of it there. So look, a bit of a struggle for them, but they've still got 4 more games to go, Vern. So hopefully Andy can get his boys, Andy Billen can get his boys up and running there. Yeah, but look, great effort from Holly there, Wesley, wasn't it?
You're not wrong, mate. You're not wrong. And Andy, good luck, mate, for the rest of the season. Get those boys up. So as I said, it'd be good to see a few of those young boys going up and playing a little bit older as well. You know, if they get the performances to get the opportunities. All right, now to our all favourite under 13s, mate, Inverarity Shield. Can you take us through the results for that, mate?
Yeah, look, Diesel's boys there also played Midland on number 2 there, and look, Midland have only managed to end up 1 for 146. So yeah. Pretty exciting times considering they were 1 for 2. So those 2 lads are gone all right. But just run through the bowlers there. Young Zach Purcell there with his 6 overs was the sole wicket taker with 1 for 18, and he's very, very excited. Dad, no doubt, would have been pretty happy with that. Young Coyne there as well, Vern.
Kieran Coyne?
Kieran Coyne there, yes. Thanks, mate. 5 overs there, none for 22. Very good bowler, actually, by the way. He looked really good the other week. And Herbst there. Herbst, how am I going?
Herbst, yeah.
Herbst.
He won't learn about that for a few years.
Unlike old mate here. And 5 overs done for 14. Young Hayden Stumpers there as well, 6 overs, number 7. Son of one of our greats. And the other Hobley, the not to be forgotten one, with his 2 overs, none for 4. McGowan, 7 overs, number 23. Jesus, dudes, you want to bowl them all next time? Elliot there with 1 overs, number 7. Young Diesel's lad there with his none for 8. Young Mitchell Slattery there, none for 18, and Harris as well. But unfortunately, in reply, the boys only managed 9 for 126. So another close game there, Vern. But Diesel's the young lad there. Williams again with his 33 was a pick of the batters. Young Hobley there with a 16, and young Herbst with his 21.
Poor kid. Yeah, so no, well, as I said, it's a great, those boys there are some boys there that are real genuine, future players at our club and our seniors. And I think young Kieran Coyne, I actually did see him bowl the other week, and I think Chris obviously hasn't shown his action because he actually bowls off the right foot and bowls fairly decent pace. But as I said, it's good to see him down there. And as I said, there's some great kids in that side, and let's hope that we get a few more of those boys who are sons of champs and stuff like that coming through through, and young stumpers and that sort of thing coming up and playing in the senior ranks in the coming 5 to 6 years.
Yeah, that's right, isn't it? It's good to see. Look, Diesel's obviously because a level 3 coach, he knows it all about, and it's good to see.
He gives them a run. He gives them an opportunity. Get out there, because don't try and tell me at 12 or 11 or 12 that you know exactly what you're going to do as a cricketer. You're still finding out what you even do well. You know what I mean?
Considering we've talked about earlier tonight, blokes in their mid-20s not knowing, so how are you going to go at that age, isn't it? But look, like I say, Diesel's on there, teach some technique, and as he says, it's all about the development for kids at that age anyway. But must have been pretty agonising to go so close.
You're not wrong, and they're 5th on the ladder at the moment. So, but they are above the dark side, which is some consolation. All right, now, Purce, we've got a very big couple of weeks coming up, obviously Christmas and all those great things coming up, and the festive season, which where we look after ourselves quite well. Mate, what's happening at the cricket club, mate? We've got our Christmas party, haven't we, coming up?
Christmas party will be on the 20th. Some details will be out via the Facebook and our page on the World Wide Web as well, Vern.
Beautiful. And we'll also chuck something up there on Roos News if you can't find it on Facebook.
It'll just be at the club, and we're probably going to go with, we'll have a feed, and funnily enough, have a few quiet beverages there as well. So looking forward to that. But keep the 20th of December, the Saturday night after the last game for the year.
Yeah, definitely. And guys, make sure you get there for that and support your club, because as I said, it's a great night, and all the kids can have an absolute ball there. And as I said, all the older boys, they have a ball anyway. So as I said, it'll be a great night had by all. So make sure we get behind it and support the club. It's our club. And as I said, we've got to get behind it and support all these great things that we do there, and make sure we're right behind it. All right, guys. Well, that's all we've got time for tonight on Roos News, the Wanneroo District Cricket Club radio show on your home of sports variety 91.3 Sport FM. My fantastic co-host that I have every week, Ian Purcell. Mate, thank you very much for tonight, mate.
Yes, David Vernon, was a pleasure as always. Good to see me keeping it together right the way through the show.
Yeah, definitely. We did it really well tonight, and that's a great show, isn't it?
Tongue for a tin, mate. Yeah. That's what that is.
Yeah, the old red tin. Well, guys, a quick thanks to our fantastic club sponsors. And as I said, we can't ever say enough about these people, because without them, we wouldn't have the club that we have, because their support means that we can get our successes. So thank you very much to all these here. Urtec, Northside Residential, Harden East and Conti, Stella Premium Services, and that's Cliff Estall there at Stella Premium Services, Sunwise Outdoor Living, Robbie Fairchild, MTM Physiotherapy, Jets Wanneroo, Subway Madley, Resource Instrumentation and Electrical, couldn't get a longer business name, could you, Thorny, ADL Electrical, well done Billy, and Liquor Barons Greenwood, Phoenix Insurance Brokers, and Total Industrial and Safety. Last but not least, JC Plastering. Okay, guys, thank you very much for joining us tonight, and we will definitely see you all back here next week at the same time. Have a lovely evening, and I don't know if we've got coming up on the show tonight, but there's no JT the Brick until a little bit later on.
You're kidding me, Vern. I have to stay up late tonight, won't I, to catch up with JT the Brick?
Mate, we miss him, don't we? It's always good going home with JT the Brick. So, guys, stay tuned. Some great radio here. We'll see you next week. Good night.